Hey, um, I just wanted to say with those gabion walls around the city, um, you can use the gabions, especially in poor countries, because all you have to do is gather rocks and stones and put your wire gabions together and stack them. And we had this thing made. Um, it's for rebar, but it's a gun. They call it a gun. But what it connects the rebar together and it puts the ties on it, and you can use that for the gabions, and it'll make it go real fast. You can use that, or you can use the 3D printer, 3D concrete printer thing for the walls. Um, and those are really, you'd be amazed at how simple those are to build. Um, and I'd really check into it because it's really cheap. It's cheap, and the concrete, uh, if you have uh, uh, for the cities, all you really need is sand, and there's a sand and lime, and if you're looking to do something that's that big, and you're a poor country, there's a thing that's on YouTube that shows you how to use, or shows you all the components of Roman concrete. And it was a Marine. There was a son of somebody who was a Marine, and it's called Corporal's Corner on YouTube. Corporal's Corner, and he shows you all the components for Roman concrete. And believe it or not, they're all available in the ocean, in the ocean. And well, what you need other than that is volcanic ash. And there's been a lot of volcanoes erupting lately. So just to let you know, that's you can use the 3D printer or the gabions, which is just gathering rocks. And so I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to let you know that national countries, I wanted to let the national governments know that there's no way that you're going to avoid this. You might avoid it for 10, 20, maybe 100, 150 years, but this is going to happen, and there's no way that you're going to stop it. And if you help out and help it happen, it can, when they're finished, it's a question of loyalty. So if you're helpful, it'll help out. And if you don't help out, well, you're going to have to deal with those consequences sooner or later. And what are those consequences going to be in 150 years or 300 years? Especially with what's happening in the rest of the world. And when you really take a look at it and see what the solution is, the solution is putting people in their homes where they have to stay, and keeping them out of space, keeping them out of space, keeping them out of uh, areas that need to be secure for you to do what you have to do. And the way to do that is with a global virus. And not one global virus, but maybe 10, 20, or 200. So I just wanted to explain that to you and let you know that this situation isn't going to change. It's not going to change. All you have to do is watch that James Webb telescope budget and take a look at what that James Webb telescope is, and then find maybe a student in engineering school to assess the cost of whatever that James Webb telescope is. And when you do that, maybe you can look into the Library of Congress about the patents or the patent office, as that any patents on that telescope would be public information. Okay, so I have noticed here, living in Jeanette with all of these people here that think that or have to have that image, the image to worship there, whatever that image is, that deceitful thing there, and Satanism being the worship. You got to define the word and regard the true definition. If you don't regard the truth, what are you doing? So that's key to whatever I'm trying to tell you here. So, okay, my speech, and that's something I wanted to talk about with Donald Trump, about my speech, and the speech, the Trump speech that used to be what's his name? Kennedy, President Kennedy's inaugural speech, where he said, "I will not shrink." But see, that's the whole key to this situation here. John F. Kennedy was a showman. He was a journalist and a showman, a model. He was a model as president. And the Marine Corps guy, he of course was the bad guy, but nobody ever really took his point of view and understood exactly where that guy was coming from. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I forget. But I had to say something about these private kingdoms, private property kingdoms here, as we understand that religious law, that you can't tax religious properties. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not, because 20 years ago or 30 years ago, it might have been 35 or 40, they changed the law regarding or having to do with the church and taxation, and I don't know what that is anymore. But I think all you need is a non-profit, and you can get a tax-exempt business but I don't know exactly what the details are in that. But you're not supposed to be able to tax the church because whatever reason that is. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to say. Oh yeah, use the gabions or the 3D printer and help out, or face the consequences whenever those consequences have a chance to show up, right?